As you can see, we're back down the beach. Got the beach shelter up, and I'm on a bit of a mission. I'm on a mission to catch a sole. I've never ever caught a sole before, and I'm down at Southbourne beach tonight. Got down here, it's about 6:30 now. I'm not fishing at the moment. I've got the rods set up and I've got the line put through the rings. I need to get the rigs out, put lids on, put baits on and get them out in the sea. I'm going to do that because I don't want to mess about. I want to get these rods in the water, then I'll come back and have a chat with you. But welcome to the video. So that's one out there. That one has just got a pyramid lead on, and a 2-hook, a 1 up, 1 down 2-hook rig, size 4s on. Nice long snoods, and that one is literally just flopped out into the margins, I would call it, but yeah, just close in. Not a long cast at all. This one, I've got a 2-hook pumpy loop rig, and this one I'm going to try and put it out a little bit further. So we've got all bases covered. Now, this is some old black lug that I've had in the freezer for a while, but frozen black lug, I guess. Negligible of how long it's been in the freezer. So they're quite big black lugs, and they're only little size 4 hooks. So what I'm doing is just chopping off that bit of old tail, chopping the worm in half, putting half of one on each hook, just to start with, and I'm doing that on both rods. I've got some other stuff. I've got a little bit of bluey, I've got a little bit of sand eel, I've got a little bit of squid as well. But I'm on a mission to catch a sole, so I'm going to have both rods on black lug. Couldn't get any ragworm, tides are really small, everyone's struggling to get ragworm right now, so that was out of the question, unfortunately. So just put a little bit of very fine whipping loosely onto these, so that when I slide it up and onto the hooks, it's got a little bit of grip. When they get in the water, fall out without getting mushy. It should stay in position. But yeah, ragworm's a bit of a commodity that no one can get at the moment. Tides being so small. 1 or 2 tackle shops have got ragworm, and they're rationing it out to people rather than letting people turn up by £1.50. They'd rather let 3 people have £0.5, which I think is sensible. I'm using owner hooks for this session. They're lovely beak points, offset points, smallish short shank, lovely. But because the point is beak to not straight point, struggling a little bit with the baiting needle. The baiting needle does like a straight pointed hook. They don't quite sit in correctly for sliding it up. But we're getting it up so far. Nice little bit of hook proud. No bling, no nothing, just a bit of black lugworm. Could have put a 5-ounce gripper on that one, just because I want to get that one out a little bit further and I want to keep it out there. And then that's both rods in the water. So there is a little bit of a sea on today, a little bit of an onshore breeze coming from behind me. and I'm using light rods. I've got my 4 and baits, any fish anywhere 4 and baits, with the Mag 4s tonight, which is nice. It's nice to use the lighter setup now and again. And from the sole that I've seen caught from this area, they're quite small sole, but a sole's a sole. I've never caught one. I really want to catch one. Small one, big one, don't care. So because I've got a bit of a wind coming, I've got light tip rods and I'm fishing for small fish. I don't reckon I'm going to see much in the way of bites unless they really have it and I hook something a bit decent. But if I catch small fish, I think the waves are coming over the line because of the bow, and the rod tips are pinging and doing all sorts, so I don't think I'm going to see a bite. So I've got a timer set. I've got a timer set for 20 minutes. I'm going to give the first one 20 minutes and see how it goes. Check how the bait is, see what the crab situation's like, and see if we've got any fish. If the baits are absolutely fine, I'll probably put them out for 25 minutes and just work it from there. But I think I should be working to the clock. I also, I don't even know what state of tide is. I know back home my tide is about 11 o'clock tonight. I'm not sure up here, it's going to be different. And I know it's a small tide, so there's not going to be a lot of fluctuation between high tide and low tide. But I am set up fairly close to the water's edge. So there's every chance that I might have to move the pivot. Which we'll see. So as you can tell, it's starting to get a bit dusky now, and it's come over very, very cloudy. They don't forecast any rain, at least they don't back home. But I don't know if we're going to get a shower or two here. It looks ominous. It was a lovely sunset. Watching that sunset while I was waiting for the 20-minute timer. I was watching the rod tips, but I didn't see anything happen. And when I wound them both in, the one that I flopped out about 20 yards with a pyramid lid on, the baits were absolutely untouched, so I just flopped them back out again. And then the right hand rod that I've got a pompey loop on and I put out a little bit further, it hadn't unclipped. There was a little bit of bait elastic wrapped around the main body of the rig. So I've just redone it and just tested it a couple of times and it seems fine now, so I'll put it back out. If I have trouble with that, I'm just going to put another flowing trace out and not worry about clipping down and all that stuff. Because even with that one, I'm still not hitting it a big distance. I'm putting one out at 20 yards and one out about 60 yards. So I'm going to give these another 20 minutes. And then if nothing happens on these ones, then I will freshen up the baits and give them 25. I've got on an earth bar with a 5-ounce rolling lead, and it's got like an 8-foot trace with 3 hooks, 3 size 4 hooks coming up. And I've put a little bit of lugworm on each one. And the other one is my 1 up, 1 down with 4s on. That's got a pyramid lead on, and that one's gone back out as well. But neither of them are fishing very far. One's out about 20 yards and one's out at about 30. But what I have discovered is the old wrap of lugworm that I've been using for a while is quite tough and rubbery, and I thought that was a good thing. But I don't think it's got a lot of juice or scent to it. And the reason I say that is because I picked up a couple of wraps today from the tackle shop, and when I've got them out, they're really like mushy. There's a bit more to them. Now when I put them on the stick, a sort of 3-inch section, and I lightly wrap some fine elastic round it, it's a decent parcel, but it's not all floppy, and it's going to stay on and it's going to stay out there. But there's just so much juice and stuff coming out of my hands, and I think that could be quite fundamental, that now I'm fishing with better, juicier, more attractive bait out there. In theory, that's what I think anyway. I think the other stuff is like leather, and I don't think it's that great. So we'll see if that makes a difference. But I think now with that juice and stuff oozing out, it's got to make a difference. It's got to be good. So we've got the timer on for another 20 minutes. Both out there, quite short distance, flowing traces, small hooks, decent juicy frozen lugworm. We just have to wait and see. We just need one fish to make the session. One sole. Got a chance of a dab, got a chance of bream, I would imagine, and maybe shoaly bass as well. So, and this is a spot for small-eyed rays as well. So I wonder if they'd pick up a bit of lugworm. I haven't got a clue, but I guess we'll find out. So I should definitely have looked at the tide before I came, because it is retreating now, and it appears that I've been fishing for about 2 hours now, and I think it was nearly high tide when I got here, and now it's on the ebb, and we still haven't had a bite yet. Nothing to show for our efforts at all. Had half a dozen casts, probably 4 casts on each rod with good bait. And still nothing. Pout, shoalies, bream, dabs, sole. There's a variety of species that we could catch. Rocklin, with tiny hooks and small baits. I thought we would catch something, but it looks like after last night's blank, it looks like we're heading for another one. Still got another couple of hours. It's 8:30 and I want to fish until about maybe 10, half 10, depending on what this water does. Being such a small tide, it's not going to go out loads, so there's going to be a body of water out there at least. It's going to have no flow. But we persevere. I've got baits on the stick ready to go. As soon as one comes in, as soon as the timer goes off. Keep putting fresh baits out. I think that's all we can do. Keep it going, keep an eye on the rod tips, and fingers crossed. A sole, might have to come down for a few trips to catch one of those. Thought about going to Town Quay as well in Southampton. Apparently you get sole from there, so, and that's a little bit closer to home from me. But let's see if we can save the blank. I think that's the target now. We've gone from a sole session to a blank saver. Fingers crossed. Since I decided to pick the beach rods back up again, we're 2 sessions in and we're on a big fat 0. Absolutely unbelievable. I'll tell you what, I'm fishing with 8-foot snoods, 8-foot traces with 3 size 4s with beautiful juicy lugworm on, absolutely cracking bait. I'm putting them out various ranges. I can't catch anything. And I think if anything was out there, they'd pick that up. Anything at all. I can only blame the tides, it's not me. So, newsflash. I've just looked up and I've seen a bite on my left-hand rod. That's the one with the 8-foot flowing trace and just lugworm on. The other one I've tipped off with little bits of squid now. But I've just looked up and I've seen a little tap out the corner of my eye, and I thought it was one of them sort of like playing tricks on me ones where you think you've seen a bite but it's not. And I've looked and it's knocked once and then it's pulled over, knocked a couple of times and then pulled back again. And I've jumped up and I'm going to get hold of it and wind it in and see if I can save the blank and catch a fish. And then I thought, right, calm down, small fish, small hooks, small baits, you've got 3 hooks on, leave it, don't be so hasty. If I snatch at it and wind it in and there's nothing there and it's the first bite all night, I'll be absolutely gutted. So yeah, I'm going to sit on my hands for 5 minutes and see if it develops. But excited, I've got a bite, I've actually got a bite. Guys, check that out. It's not the sole that we came for, it's not the target species, but it is a blank saver. It's a lovely place. I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with that. Fantastic. Talk about pull it out the bag at the last minute. Literally wondered whether to put that last cast out or not. Decided to, and been rewarded. A lovely little place. How beautiful is that? And I've actually got a little bit of a spring in my step now, so I'm going to unhook this one, rebait, and I'm going to put that back out again. Well chuffed, and get this unhooked and get the little critter back in the water. See if we can catch another fish. But we've done it, we've saved the blank. Happy days. I'm really happy that we beat the blank. It wasn't the target species. When I saw a flatfish, I was like, yes, it's a soul, but it wasn't. It was a place, but I was still chuffed to bits. Considering it's like, I got here at 6:30, I've been blanking my arse off, and it's now 10 o'clock. And that last cast, I was like, should I put it out? Do you know what? I've made it all this way down here, driven for an hour. Don't just give it a couple of hours and then go home. And there's a couple of other anglers down there. I can't see what's going on because it's dark and they're quite a way away. And there's a couple of anglers that side as well. And I'm just thinking, there's anglers here. Do you know what I mean? It's not a complete lost cause. Just keep it going. 3 more fresh nose baits out there, and proper little flatty bite as well. I remember from when I used to fish for flounders back in the day. Little knocks, little pull over, little knocks. Yeah, proper cool. I'm going to turn the camera off now because I want to watch the rod tips and see if I can see another bite. That's probably it. I've managed to fluke one and save the blank, but yeah, chuffed to bits. Chuffed to bits. But it has given me a little bit of impetus just to get the rods back out there again and keep going. So we've only gone and caught another fish, and this time we've got a little schoolie bass covered in spines, and he's doing his best to try and get me. But yeah, little schoolie bass. 2 fish in 2 casts. Bagging up now. I was just looking at them, just thinking it's 10:30 now. By the time I get back, it's going to be late. So I'll wind them in, and if nothing's happening, I'll get off. And I've caught another fish. Oh dear. I did see a couple of little knocks on it. There you go. Little bass. I'll get him back and then have a little think about what I'm going to do. So that's it, the rods are wound in. The rigs are on their winders, and that's it for me. I'm going to just put everything away now. I'm going to say goodbye now before I pack away, get up that cliff and get home. I will get out again. I'll probably wait till these tides build up a little bit now, and then I think Town Quay might be worth a good shout. I know that people get a few sole from over there, so I'm going to give that a little try, I think, next time out. But until then, tight lines, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.